Hey YouTube, how's it going? I can't believe that I have to say this in the year 2022, but a slipped disc don't exist. Have you ever heard of the term slipped disc, or know anybody who has suffered from a slipped disc? Or perhaps you yourself have suffered from a slipped disc? Well, intervertebral discs don't, can't, never have, and never will slip. I understand that in a lot of cases, people use this terminology when they're referring to a disc herniation, and they in fact do know better. However, when language like this is used, such as slipped disc, it has the potential to actually cause harm in those who don't know any better, especially when it's coming from healthcare professionals. Discs cannot slip. They physically cannot slip. It is physically impossible for a spinal intervertebral disc to slip because it is firmly attached and embedded into the vertebrae via a bony and cartilaginous end plate. So these aren't just structures floating willy-nilly in between our spinal bones, and even if they were, they are incredibly reinforced by ligamentous structures surrounding it. The end plates function to hold discs in space, evenly spread load, and to provide anchorage for the collagen fibers of the disc. They also act as a semi-permeable interface for the exchange of water and solutes. So this means that yes, they are vascularized and are capable of adaptation and healing. Nevertheless, discs can still herniate. They can bulge, protrude, extrude, and sequestrate. And this is generally what people are referring to when they use terms like slipped disc. But as you can see, this only occurs in less than 5% of lower back pain cases. According to this paper by Bardeen, King and Mayer in 2017, titled Diagnostic Triage for Lower Back Pain, a Practical Approach for Primary Care, 90 to 95% of lower back pain cases are what we call non-specific lower back pain. 5 to 10% of lower back pain cases are from radicular syndromes, and this is what we would classify as a disc herniation. And then less than 1% of lower back pain cases come from a specific spinal pathology, for example, a fracture or some type of infection. So as you can see, not many cases of lower back pain are caused by disc pathologies. You would need to have a very specific set of neurological or neuropathic type of symptoms for us to suspect that the cause of your lower back pain is coming from a disc, or in other words, is discogenic. In fact, in many disc-related lower back pain cases, patients often refer the pain to radiate down the leg, and these symptoms are often more severe than the pain that is suffered around the lower back. So if you only having pain around the lower back, our index for suspicion of you having an intervertebral disc herniation or something of that degree is much lower, as you would probably more likely to have suffered pain radiating down the leg. And a very large portion of the pain-free population present with signs of disc pathology and degeneration on radiographic investigations like MRIs or X-rays. So even if a disc herniation showed up on an MRI, it doesn't really mean much, because disc herniations are present in a wide majority of the asymptomatic pain-free population. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the cause of your pain. In this systematic literature review by Bringjikji, probably pronouncing that wrong, et al. In 2015, they found a whopping 96% of 80-year-olds to present with signs of disc herniation, and 37% of 20-year-olds. Keep in mind, these are asymptomatic individuals. They have no injuries or pain, and these signs of disc pathology show up on scans. 84% of pain-free 80-year-olds and 30% of pain-free 20-year-olds show disc bulges. 43% of 80-year-olds and 29% of 20-year-olds have asymptomatic disc protrusions. Therefore, it is not predictive of pain. Intervertebral discs can also change over time and heal or resorb, in many cases without surgical intervention, in periods between 3 and 12 months. In this systematic review by Chui et al. In 2050, titled The Probability of Spontaneous Regression of Lumbar Herniated Discs, they found that the rate of spontaneous regression for intervertebral discs to be up to 96% for disc sequestrations, 70% for disc extrusions, 41% for disc protrusions, and 13% for disc bulging. Lastly, they seem to occur mostly in cases unrelated with heavy lifting and trauma, according to this paper by Suri et al. In 2010, titled Inciting Events Associated with Lumbar Disc Herniations. So in case you were worried about some nonsense like your sport or activity causing wear and tear and disc degeneration, have a look what happens in most cases. 62% of discogenic problems could not even recall a specific event. So what I could speculate, or what I would speculate, is that symptoms just occurred to them gradually, or they just woke up suddenly one day with pain. Nothing associative event-wise. Normal tasks and activities like housework or missing a step or twisting, something like that, seems to be the cause of, discogenic lumbar back pain issues 26% of the time. Lifting heavy, so loads over 35 pounds, was only the cause of a disc herniation 6% of the time. Non-exertional situations like sitting or sneezing only occurred 2% of the time, only was the cause of lower back pain or lower back disc herniations 2% of the time. Light lifting was the cause only 2% of the time. And trauma was the cause only 1% of the time. Only in 1% of cases of lumbar disc herniations in this paper was caused by trauma. So to end it off, your spine is incredibly tough and does not go out of place. The best way to protect it is to use it. So the idea that intervertebral discs can slip reinforces perceptions of fragility associated with the body and the spine. Vivid mental imagery of intervertebral discs being frail, easily injured, incredibly mobile structures is a surefire way to lead to pain catastrophization and cause negative, harmful beliefs. On the flip side, intervertebral discs are actually incredibly reinforced structures that are capable of handling high forces, adapting and healing. Plus, they are rarely the culprit when it comes to most cases of acute or chronic lower back pain. So to end it off, I'm just going to read you a quote by Yehuda Berg. Words are singularly the most powerful force available to humanity. We can choose to use this force constructively with words of encouragement or destructively using words of despair. Words have energy and power with the ability to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to humble. So we must be very careful with our words. Thank you for watching. This is Bradley Cato, and please let me know if you have any critiques, comments, recommendations, or, questions, or whatever the case is. Thank you for watching yet again. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.